I'm Tendy Powell from Hunter Powell Investments, and it's just tremendous to be here this evening at this event. Well, I've worked in private equity for the last close to 20 years, and I guess one of the best known New Zealand business that we've got in latter times has been Hirepool, which we bought in 2003. Had 14 branches, 9 of which were in Auckland, and we took that across a 3-year period nationwide, and it now has just under 100 business units within the group, and if the media is correct, we're just about to buy Hirepool. Well, my wife Sharon had New Zealand's largest home computer company called PC Direct in the 90s. Nowadays, we are both on boards that look at reasonably high-tech science. So Sharon's on the board of PGP, the Primary Growth Partnership. I'm on the board of Waikato Link, the commercialisation company of the University of Waikato, and also Antarctica, New Zealand. And we get to see some extraordinary New Zealand scientists doing globally and world-class science. A number of the companies I've seen here today, particularly in health sciences, have legs that could really run on a global investment platform. And when I think of some of the businesses that we've got running out of Waikato Link right now, there's some real synergies and there's opportunities for people to partner here. So I think it's just a great initiative. The Icehouse is fantastic. I mean, it's New Zealand's largest and really most successful enterprise of this nature, and the Ice Angels they've done some incredible investments. It's well known, anybody that knows the work that I'm doing in terms of getting government to recognise the importance of small business would also know that I think we should be collaborating a lot more, and the fact that I'm chairman of Waikato Link is irrelevant to being here to support this event today. And I think the more that we can collaborate and the more that we can work together on funding growth enterprises for New Zealand, and not just science or tech, but any export business particularly, the better off we're going to be. Well, we are, as we all know, a bricks and mortar investment nation, literally, and that's mostly houses, and we still, the majority of capital gains still comes from investing in residential houses. And I could be guilty of that. The bricks and mortar businesses that we've bought, and Hirepool is one of them, was easily scalable at the time. It's going to be interesting to see where we take our personal investments next, and I think it's going to be more in the high-tech arena, which comes with risk. And when I think of the people that we've met overseas, the large VC firms, they would say you can expect 9 out of 10 investments to fail. So translated in New Zealand terms, which is a country with very shallow capital markets, what do we need to do? We need to collaborate more. We need to work together on investments, particularly those investments that we believe are going to be great revenue generators for New Zealand. Well, we've done that in a private equity sense. From a venture capital point of view, look, it's another learning curve for us, to be honest. It fascinates me, and some of the investment opportunities, if they come off, will be tremendous. It's about accepting failure along the way, and I don't think as New Zealanders we do that overly well, and the Americans particularly would say that we need to get better at it, failing and getting up again and reinvesting. And I think the more that we invest as New Zealanders, the better we're going to get at it. And we do have some very sophisticated investors in New Zealand, but we don't, again, because of the very shallow capital markets, we tend not to take the risks that others would take. Well, look at what we're seeing here today. There's 18 presenters that are doing 8 minutes each, pretty much. The vast majority of whom have a real business if they can find the right investor. And I think on a couple of occasions, and I'm not necessarily aiming at these people here today, but some of the investments that we see from New Zealand need the right executor. So somebody that can actually put it on the ground and make it happen. And that isn't necessarily the inventor or the innovator of that product. That said, what I've seen today are people that are actually doing it and can put it on the ground really easily. So, which is great. And New Zealanders have that ability. We talk about the number 8 fencing wire. I think we're over that a bit. I think we're far more sophisticated than that, and we're educated in a way which is very global. We're great travellers. And if we can get products, to stick overseas, and if we've got the capital to make them work and to be able to roll them out, we'll be very successful. I think we'll create world-class companies from New Zealand with overseas funding. I mean, one of the things that I'm a huge advocate of is foreign direct investment. I know it's viewed, people will translate that immediately as selling New Zealand to foreigners. And yet when I look at the private equity partnerships that I've had over the years, they've been hugely successful at investing in New Zealand companies without whom those companies would not be the size they are now. And on a New Zealand scale, the New Zealand Rental Group is a small corporation. It employs around about 500 people, and that's about to almost double. There's no way in the world that could have happened without astute and sophisticated private equity support. And we had two such supporters across the reign of Hypel, one of which is still invested in that company. In terms of venture capital, which is traditionally a lot riskier, it needs a level of sophistication which I think has in for the long haul, and at the same time has the ability to collaborate, and that's what I enjoy about it. A lot of these people will end up having to collaborate with people that they may not even know exist right now, and together, 1 and 1 could equal 3. We, when was it? December last year, we founded the New Zealand SME Business Network, really to highlight to government the importance of engaging in the SME sector. Now, New Zealand SME versus, say, the US SME is a very different concept, and many of our large businesses in New Zealand would be considered medium-sized in the US. Pushing that aside, the opportunity is to help New Zealand's economic firm base to grow in a more entrepreneurial environment, and we don't do that. We like to think we do, but we don't. And part of that is just having supporting structures that will enable small businesses to grow. And the things that we get a lot of feedback from small business owners is red tape, reduction at both central and local government level, a tax regime which reflects the nature of a small business, and so it goes. I could talk ad infinitum at this, but it really is creating, in my mind, getting government to understand the importance of having an entrepreneurial environment. And when I look at what's happening in the States right now, they've got a senator that's in charge of small businesses who is also in charge of creating that entrepreneurial environment within which they can grow.